SARS. I know some people.
Demand.
No, I know. End SARS. SARS is SARS.
Okay.
It's been ended, and that was where Governor Wike came from. It's been ended. What are you still doing on the road? And then it came up with NSWAT, and then after NSWAT. But I like the fact that in Kaduna, they're talking about ending insecurity now, which has been one of the biggest issues they have in Kaduna. In Niger State, they're saying fix our roads, which means even though we are all on the streets, we're asking for what is pertinent to our specific states and environment. So it has to be clear what you're asking for. You can't just be answers. You know, some people go there just for.
My dear, I've actually gone through the circulars, and they have 545.
Yeah.
They have stipulated requests to the government.
These things
are not joking. They have, I studied them. Yeah, it has to do with security and some other basic amenities. You see, I studied them, and I got to a level where I saw they even have a graphics team where things are designed overnight. And these guys are saying
they're all volunteers.
Yes, they are all volunteers. Nobody's been. And then let me shock you. They were saying the government used billions to feed very few people, and with just some very few millions, they are feeding fat every day.
That's not true. But that's not true. But the people who are feeding them cannot tell them how much it is costing to. Because I had to ask a question yesterday when we were talking to one of the people, one of the protesters. How do you know where the food comes from? No, they don't.
I do.
I'm not saying we are not. We don't know.
Okay.
I know one of the people who brings food to them.
Okay.
And I've always, he does a lot of feeding people around town. And I've always had to ask the question, where does your money to do this come from? Now you're saying you're also feeding protesters. You can't be doing it alone. Do you know how much it takes to feed 1,000 people 3 times daily? Somebody brought a wagon and bread and gari. That's one person. Another person is bringing jollof rice and the rest of it.
A whole lot of celebrities have been part of this. And I must really commend the Nigerian entertainment industry because they've stood. Yeah, they've stood for this. But the main point is, you see some hashtags trending like "Stop Police Brutality," and put an end to bad government. You know, we need good leaders. You see, so these guys are channeling the cause in a positive direction.
Very true.
And I honestly feel that the government should start listening to the youth, because this generation is not here to joke. It's not here to joke.
I think they've joked enough. Now they're ready.
Like what Charlie Boy will say, our
Punch.
Okay, the Punch newspaper this morning. Federal government agrees to pay ASU 30 billion end allowance and others. On the high point here, we have Afrobeat musician Femi Kuti amongst the End SARS protesters in Ikeja. This is beautiful to see. Attacks, protest ban. Lagos protesters hire bouncers to protect themselves. I saw that video this morning. Very huge bouncers. You know, one of the guys who was caught in the pro-SARS attack said they were actually paid 1,500 naira each to go do that attack. Did you see that report? It's preposterous.
Very.
2 killed, 4 cops detained as controversy trails Lagos talks. Lawyer Aisha Yusufu and others hit Bello, threatens legal action against ban. September inflation rate hits 13.7%, highest in 30 months. 3 arrested for gang raping Ogun 16-year-old, and while they were gang raping her, they filmed the event. Can you imagine? That's terrible. Very terrible.
And they were arrested.
They were all arrested, 3 of them. Court dismisses suit seeking 130 million compensation.
The court judgment. We're already waiting for that court judgment.
Yes, we are.
I think, you know, when we don't do the right thing, we enable and empower the people who do this evil to do more.
True. Very
now,
true.
we've caught them. If we do swift and very hard punishment, other people will desist.
That's true. That's
the
true.
protesters were attacked. You catch one of the people, the attackers, you do swift and very thorough punishment, they will desist. How can 1,000 naira money for feeding in a day be enough for you to go put a machete and strike someone on the head?
Some people
does it make sense?
It's far more than that. It's so crazy.
People consume what you pay 6 of them 1,500 in one sitting, one person.
It's sad. It's really
sad. Is that the value of a human life? Really?
It's really sad. 26 states struggle to meet COVID-19 test target. And finally, up on the Punch newspaper, NYC camp reopens. Camp members and workers will be tested for COVID-19.
Fantastic idea.
Constitution review, INEC seeking replacement of manual with electronic voting. That's the INEC elections that has been slated for 18th February 2023. Federal government reopens NYC orientation camp on the 10th of November. Social media hype doesn't guarantee success. BB Niger's Dorothy. NNPC releases 2019 audit financial statement and reduces loss by 99.7%. Food inflation rose to 16.6% in September. NBS. I didn't grant waiver for foreign vessels. Amechi. Police brutality. Governors to set up judicial panel of inquiry.
That was what I was
talking about. That was what you were talking about earlier.
That's from the Federal Executive Council.
I love that.
It's fantastic. That they're going to set it up and sit on it by themselves and monitor what happens there is fantastic.
And then I don't know if I'm the only one who has this perspective, but I really think Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is really doing well. You know why I said that? You know, this is the first time I'm seeing a governor in office that will not just go join the youths, listen to them, and the next minute he's in the Federal Capital Territory with the president with reports.
Like saying, this is what they said,
and this is
my children said, the way it is, he said, my children said this is what they want. Sir.
I love it.
These are the things they want. These are their demands.
And Tony, I need to say this. Nobody paid me anything to do this because I've been on the background. I've studied. I've read from both sides. I have checked. This governor, this guy is working. I actually felt for him when he was talking to the youths and they were singing "Fam." But the truth is, this guy is.
He said today. He said, I am so number of years old. I am like this. I know what you're going through. I'm not
do too much.
No, young people can be crazy. But it was patient. You know, some people will get instantly very upset, very angry, begin to show it. But despite that fact, he stood. I was wondering where he was standing in a car, on top of a car, sitting by the window of a car, because I was just wondering.
He was standing by the window of the car.
I'm telling you. And he was talking, and you know, majority of them didn't listen, but he got the demands.
But you know my hype of this whole thing.
And the next thing, from his t-shirt to his agbada to his helicopter straight to Abuja.
I love that.
Look at the risk.
I love that.
Because Lagos led that protest.
Yes. And as much as you see, shout out to Professor Lumumba from Kenya. He said, the day Nigeria wakes up, Africa will wake up. So I'm so excited at my generation that we have actually woken up. Maybe not your generation. And then talking about what happened. Come on, we're on national TV here. Talking about what happened in Port Harcourt. The governor said nobody should come out.
And then Genevieve said, are you kidding me right now?
No, that's why I love Genevieve. And that's why we'll keep praying for her to remain.
But you know, she really doesn't talk much.
She doesn't, but when she talks,
it's just one. The tweet. Did you see the tweet? It was just short and very.
And I wasn't surprised when I saw the governor joined them because those guys were not smiling. Did you see the footage?
Yes.
They went en masse to the governor's office. Some of them were actually naked. Like, if you want to kill us, kill us.
No, I'm not asking the question. Do you think that naked protest made sense? What was that?
Can I tell you something? When the governor when the governor has come out to issue a warning and threaten you, then I won't blame the youth.
You don't get what my problem is. The governor said, don't protest. They have stopped what you want. It has happened.
Don't come out.
Don't come out to protest. And you decided to go and protest. You said your brothers were killed and all that. Why go naked is my question.
Peradventure, they want to attack or shoot them.
They will see that you are not wearing anything.
Can I tell you something?
Okay, maybe the purpose was they just wanted to show that, we are not carrying weapon. No.
And then apart from that, it's also important you know this. Nakedness trends faster. You want to get people to get you on the media, you want to get
and that's what I think.
Go naked, it will trend.
I sincerely think it was just a cheap popularity stunt, because whoever it was,
and it works for them. It worked for them.
Whoever it is that was doing the video made sure it was showing the faces of all of the young men.
Yes. Did you see the young guy that was taking his bath at the toll gate?
Oh my.
On top of the bus?
I'm sure that is trending on Instagram right now.
That's trended heavily. Let's move on.
He took his bath on a truck.
Yes.
Nigeria
and he came with his mat, his pillow, his bucket. He came prepared. He has a space at the toll gate where he sleeps.
He climbed on top of a truck that they stopped from moving
to take his bath.
Put up, oh my, Nigeria youths.
And you know what I've noticed is the amount of celebrities that trunks the toll gate on a daily basis. Hilda Dokubo was there yesterday.
Kate was there too.
Kate, yeah. A lot of them, they do Wazobia. A lot of them. And I am so excited that there is a peaceful communication
between
the government.
Oh no,